Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda, and I'm checking out a 2018 Honda Pilot in the EX trim level. Now the EX is one of the more basic Pilots, but as you'll see in this video, it does have a lot of features standard. So let's go ahead and check it out. This Pilot is sitting on 245/60 Bridgestone tires, wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels in a two-tone. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated disc rotors in the front and solid disc rotors in the back. The name of this color is Modern Steel Metallic. And checking out here on the front, it is mostly body colored as far as the bumper and everything, but you do have some chrome strips running across the front right in here, across the grille and over the headlights. And it kind of blends in with the headlight. And then you have the LED accent on the outside and the halogen powered projector low beams and reflector high beams with halogen powered fog lights and a reflector housing. Looking at the profile of the vehicle, you can see it has privacy glass in the back. The front windows are down, but they're actually not tinted. Of course, you can tint them to match the back, but the back portion is the privacy glass from the factory. Now, the pillars here, right here and here, are blacked out to kind of give it a elongated look, more sleek look. And you see it's even accented with the chrome around the outside, giving it more continuity. Now the handles are body colored. The top portion of the side mirror is also body colored. And then you have this plastic strip around the base of the vehicle and around the wheel wells to help protect against rock chips and just general debris on the road. This is what the key fob looks like. It's a proximity key system designed where you just keep this key fob in your pocket and you can use the vehicle 100%. It does have useful buttons on it though, lock and unlock, the remote start, and the ability to unlock the trunk. It also has a panic button here and a physical key on the inside. There's the Honda emblem on the other side. Let's go ahead and push the panic button, just see what happens. Now that's a strong horn. So it basically beeps the horn and flashes the lights. As long as you have the key with you, it can be in your pocket, it could be in a bag. As long as you have the key within a close proximity of the outside of this door, it will allow you access to the vehicle. So you can lock the doors by pushing this button, or you can simply unlock them by simply putting your hands back here. It senses your hand position behind the handle. It senses the key within a close proximity of the outside of the door and allows you access to the vehicle. And you notice on the driver's side there is a keyhole for the physical key. Just in case the battery is dead in the key fob, you can still access the vehicle. Okay, so let's start here on the passenger side. Here's the inside of the passenger side door. Now you notice there's two colors here. You have the gray, the lighter color, and then the black. And all the black area is a soft to the touch. So it's soft here, here, here. As soon as you get down into the gray area, you have the hard plastics. You have a storage pocket right in this area. It also serves as a handle to pull it closed. Chrome is right here. A little metallic accent, kind of a tungsten color, I suppose. And then you have I really like the way they designed this door. You have the pockets in the door, of course, but see how they have the cup holders or the bottle holders here towards the front where your hands are naturally going to be. It's easy to access the stuff here in the front than to try to reach behind you and access pockets back here. So I think this is really laid out good. There's your threshold, manually adjusted cloth seats, and it's kind of a plush material. Very slight bolstering. And they're pretty good ways off the floor. I don't know if you can see that. This helps out with giving you that chair-like feel, and also your knees are not sticking up in the air too much if you're really tall. So the dash is a soft to the touch material in the black, and then you have that tungsten color right in here, and then you have your hard plastics below that. Now the glove box is lockable. You can open that up, kind of slowly lowers, and it's a smooth plastic on the inside, which helps keeping it clean, but otherwise it's pretty standard glove compartment. You can see that legroom is fantastic. So Make sure the seat's all the way back. Okay, so that's all the way back. And check it out, very little tapering here on the ends. Just a little bit of a taper right there, but all wide open. The floor mat hooks in place. And really nice. Okay, so here's the inside of the rear door. Now, just like the front, you have a two-tone, except for you have the soft touch surfaces here and here around your arm. The rest of it is the hard plastics. Check it out, 2 cup holders here on each side, which is nice in that high position right where your arm would be, and then you have the storage pockets there in the forward position as well. And you see with the front seat all the way back, you still have a very substantial amount of legroom. The seats are also really high off the floor, you know, giving you that extra comfort I mentioned before. And pockets on the back of the front seats on both sides. Cup holders and an armrest here in the center. Now these seats are able to go forward and back. You can adjust the tilt a little bit, and we'll get to the third row in a second. You have climate control buttons back here, so the back seat drivers can adjust their own climate so they won't bug you while you're driving. And then you have a little storage pocket below that. But check out the center portion. There's this completely flat floor. There's no hump in the center portion. Some vehicles have this big hump in the middle, which if you have 3 people back here, then this kind of causes a problem or gets in the way. This is a completely flat floor. So that's nice. It also helps even when you don't have 3 people back here, just being able to just have extra room to put your legs. It's just really good. These seats also have the latch system. Both the second and the third rows have the latch system for car seats. That's what these little tags mean. Now these seats split in a 60-40 split, and they fold. So there's 2 different fold positions. One is a cargo mode using this lever. So it kind of folds down like so, and that way you can add to your cargo space when you fold all the seats down. You add to your cargo space tremendously, which I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Now the other way you can do it is this latch right here. Now it tilts the seat forward at a 45-degree angle, and then you just kind of push it, and it kind of spoons up to the front seat like so. And this gives you access to the third row. So you can see this little step right here, and there's your third row. Has cup holders as well, 3 on each side. Isn't that nice? Little climate control vents there. And one thing about the third row that's different from the first and second row is you see the leg room. The seat doesn't go that high off the floor. So this is where you want to put the kids or the car seats, people with shorter legs. You don't want to put the NBA players back here, especially on a long trip. Maybe a short run would probably work okay. Okay, so looking at the rear of the vehicle, you can see at the very top, this little tiny nub right here, it looks like what kind of looks like a vestige of a little shark fin antenna. So it's kind of low profile. And then you have your third brake light right in here with the spoiler across the back, windshield wiper, and almost in the center position is your backup camera here. And the exhaust is basically hidden. Try to hide it as much as possible. And the tail lights are a combination of standard and LED bulbs. Okay, so let's go ahead and open it up. There's a little button under here. You push that, it unlatches, and then you just kind of lift it up. It doesn't take much effort, and it goes the rest of the way up by itself. All right, so if you have all the seats occupied with passengers, this is your cargo space. And so you can see it's kind of not huge. I mean, this, of course, you'd have a lot of passengers. But it's real easy to add to your cargo space even if you have just one person not taking up a spot. And that's right here. So what you do is these fold in a 50-50 fashion, so we can go ahead and fold this down like so. And you can see how much I've added. I've added 1 seat of extra cargo space while still maintaining passenger space here. I went ahead and folded that seat down just to give you an idea of the massive amount of space you'd have while still maintaining these passenger side. You can fold down all the seats and have this wide open space just in case you need less passenger and way more cargo. Okay, so you have this little, actually not so little, pretty big pocket here and subwoofer. So this pocket, let me see if I can give you an idea how deep it is. It goes in there quite a ways. And you have tie downs here and there. 12-volt power supply right in here. And a more shallow but wider pocket on the left side. I'm going to leave all the specs and dimensions and volumes and all that stuff in the description. I just want to give you a visual reference as far as the size, mostly. And under here, check it out. This is a huge cargo space. Now this is nice because you can get your stuff out of the way and out of sight and still, you know, adding to your cargo space here. You can also, as this little graphic shows, you can take this top part out, slide it and store it underneath at the very bottom, so that way you can utilize the height of this cargo space as well. So your spare tire is under the vehicle, in which you can access here, and your tools are there on the left side behind that cover. And this cargo mat unfolds and it covers up both this cargo area and the second row. It has a locking fuel door, and it's here on the driver's side, which is very convenient. And it's a capless design. You don't have to take a cap off, get your hands dirty. You just put the nozzle in there, pump your gas, and you're good to go. To start it up, as long as you have the key inside the vehicle, you can have it in your pocket, in a bag, whatever. Just put your foot on the brake and push this button right here. Okay, so here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. You see the floor mat hooks in place in 2 places to keep it in place. Accelerator and brake pedal. Then you have a foot here rest on the far left here, really good size, and a foot actuated parking brake here as well. Okay, so let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a latch a little bit to the left of center. So right in here, you reach in and you move it to the right. So you kind of lift up and to the right, and you see it right there. And the hood's fairly light. It does require a prop to hold the hood up. There's the prop. And it actually has 2 places. You have this normal position here, and then you have this other position. They even put an arrow there saying, hey, hook it right here. But the secret position is down here, which lifts the hood up way higher, like that. So this gives you really good access to the engine compartment, just completely gets it out of your way. It's almost as good as taking the hood off completely. So the engine compartment is insulated under the hood. It also has a seal across the top, all the way there in the front, right in here, all the way from one side to the other. You also have a seal across the back, right in here. And the strut towers are braced in with the unibody structure of the vehicle, the ACE body structure, by the way. You should check into that if you're interested in the safety and design of the Honda vehicles. It's designed to, you know, crumple and give you the transfer the least amount of energy to the occupants in the event of a crash. So you have an insulated firewall as well. Battery is located there on the far side underneath this plastic piece here. There's the battery. But here's the engine. It's a 3.5 liter V6. It's a VTEC, i-VTEC, with Earth Dreams technology, basically a direct injection. Now, this pumps out 280 horsepower, by the way, and it's paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. Now, we already saw the fuel door release there and the power windows are all for all windows are here. The front two are automatic, so it's one touch up and down. Nice and smooth. Door lock controls. And then you can lock out the power windows on the other doors, so that way kids can't roll the windows up and down and play around with them. Power seat here for the driver, so it's able to tilt, go up and down, forward and back, tilt the back. You also have lumbar adjustment right there, power lumbar adjustment. To the left of the steering column, you have your side mirror adjustments. You just pick a side and adjust it with this little pad. Your eco button, give you better fuel economy, and your traction control off button. Default will always be on. You also have a tilt and a telescoping steering column, and you can lock it in place with this lever. Now the lever is on the left side, and it's real easy to see and get to. Some vehicles have it kind of hidden under there somewhere. This one's right there. Okay, so let's take a look here on the inside, sitting in the driver's seat, checking it out. So I'm 6 feet tall. I have the seat all the way back and the seat all the way down, and this would probably be my seating position. Now I probably would have to extend the steering wheel out a little bit more. I might put the seat up slightly, but about here would be good for me. I really like the large footrest. The angle is really nice, and I'm able to like put my foot over here or right here. It's a really good spot. Now you can see the parking brake right here. I can see it possibly getting in the way, but I mean, I can move my foot around quite a bit and it doesn't scrape or touch it. It just kind of barely touches my pant leg. But overall, legroom is fantastic, and I like the fact that it's kind of like a chair, you know, really comfortable. Okay, so looking at the steering wheel here, it's a synthetic material, soft to the touch, with a simulated leather texturing, and has a good thickness. The softness feels pretty good. I mean, it feels like it's not going to, you know, cause a problem with, you know, long trips or whatever. See, it has little bolsters there at the top. Okay, so your cruise control is here on the right side. Down here, these buttons correspond with the screen between the gauges, which we'll get to in just a second. Volume for your radio is here. Change through your audio tracks or radio, your presets for your radio is here. This one goes into different screens, which we'll get to in just a minute. And this one goes into a menu system in certain screens. We'll get into a little bit more detail with that kind of stuff when we get to the screens. The Bluetooth controls, you can answer, hang up, and then you have a voice recognition as well. Windshield wipers for your front and rear are on the right side. Turn signals on the left, but you also have your headlight controls. So you have off, parking light, automatic, and then your headlight, and your fog lights can be controlled right here. Alright, so looking at the gauges is fairly simple. You have this big digital speedometer there in the center portion, and black background, white lettering, easy to focus on, especially that speedometer. It's really big and easy to see. The font is really good and clear. So you have your RPMs there on the left side, your engine coolant temperature, and your fuel gauge on the right side. But this little screen here in the center portion has your outside temperature, your gear, and your mileage, how many miles, the odometer of the vehicle basically. But that little screen there, you can get some more information. So I'm going to use this button right now to go up and down, and then have a reset. That's for your trip. So I'm going to scroll up, and this shows you oil life. Scroll up again, your tire pressure. Up again is the please wait screen. It's been sitting there like that since I started the vehicle, so I'm not sure what we're waiting for. And then you have your trip, 2 trips here. Has your range, average fuel economy, and distance, and both of them can be reset, of course. And if you can push and hold the reset button to switch to kilometers per hour there at the top instead of miles per hour if you like. Alright, so here's your touch screen, and you can see it has the soft touch buttons here on the left side, and nice, the clarity of the screen is really sharp, and the colors are really, really nice. I mean, you can't see individual pixels. It's really a really clear screen. Now I would suggest a microfiber cloth to keep it clean, because there's that shiny surface. So as you touch it, you will need to wipe it and, you know, make it look better. Okay, so your audio office here, your home screen, let's go ahead and push that. That's going to take us to some main apps here. Now you can add to it. There's several screens, sort of like your cell phone. You can add the little apps. Now smartphone connection is where you plug in your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto capable phone, and it will install the appropriate software, and you can use all those features, navigation and all that stuff in there. And then you go into your audio, your phone, you compare multiple phones. Let's go into the audio. That's where originally you have your presets or your favorites there at the bottom. Shows you what source we're in, the satellite radio. We can change the source by pushing this button. We have AM, FM, satellite radio, Bluetooth, USB, one for an iPod USB, Pandora, and of course your apps on your cell phone, and then your auxiliary input. Now we have this little back button right here. We can go back out of that. Also, if we're in the home, and let's say we go into settings here, and nice big, easy to read words. I like that. So you can adjust all your settings right there. And also, I like the way the clock remains in that position there with the big lettering. Now, while I have the screen up, I want to show you a feature here. On the end of the stock here on the turn signal, when you push this button, or when you put your right turn signal on, I'm going to go ahead and push the button. It's going to show a blind spot camera. Now the camera is actually located on the bottom of this side mirror here. I don't know if you can see that, but it shines in your blind spot on your right side over your right shoulder, so that way you can see if there's a car over there before you change lanes. That's a little bit harder than looking over your shoulder on the left. Typically, I guess that's what the whole idea is. So that will, you know, as you turn your turn signal on, it'll automatically pop up there. Now your volume is right here, as well as on the steering wheel. There's no physical knob to turn. Alright. Four-way flashers are here. Climate control, so it's a tri-zone, so you have your driver, passenger, and then everybody in the back. And you can sync those like I have them right now. So as I change the temperature, it adjusts all of them at the same time. Your mode is where you want the air to blow. Fan speed is here. Air conditioning, recirculate the air. You can adjust the rear separately, so you can lock out the rear so they can't mess with the buttons back there, and you control it up here. And you can turn it on or off. You can go in specifically the rear settings when you push that button. You can just push it automatic and set your temperatures, and let everything, you know, where the fan speed and everything take care of itself. And then your front and rear defrosters are here. Little storage pocket. And your 12-volt power supply, USB connection. So you have two USB connections. One is specifically for charging. The other one is for you know, connecting your cell phone to the system, and it has this little rubber pad right here. So as you're using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, it will need to stay connected to the USB port, and when you put it right here, it's not going to slide around as easy because of this rubberized pad. And of course, it's also useful for just general setting things down there. Cup holders are here, and it has an open space there in the center, just in case you need to utilize that extra space. Handle for a mug, or you know, just other things besides a cup possibly. Okay, so here's your shifter. Now this one has the 6-speed automatic. When you get the Elite, it has a different transmission and has a different shifter. It has like push buttons and stuff, which I have a video of that separate from this, but this is more of a standard shifter. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse and check out the backup camera here with the active guidelines. So as I turn the steering wheel, the guidelines will turn as well, giving us an estimated trajectory of the vehicle as it backs up. And it's a wide angle view. So right now we have the wide angle view. You can go to a more linear view or more of a top down. If you're backing up to a trailer or something, you can, you know, customize the view there. The super wide like that, you get a lot of distortion around the sides, but you get much better visibility as far as just trying to avoid hitting something when you're backing up. neutral, drive, and then you have a low range. So this is going to keep it at a lower gear ratio. So if you need engine braking or whatever, for whatever reason, you can put it in this low range. Then you have a snow mode. So this will go easy on the need for traction. Say start off in second gear, that kind of thing. So it gets you going in slippery conditions, the snow mode. All right, so this is pretty cool. It's kind of textured right here. It kind of looks like a wood grain or whatever. And this slides back. It latches too. And you pull that to release it. Open it up, and then you have this storage compartment with this little storage tray here, which you can slide or remove. I'm going to go ahead and slide it all the way back. And you have this really big cargo space. So you can put a bunch of junk in here. You have a 12-volt power supply, auxiliary, and USB ports right here as well. So it's a 2.5 amps, so you can charge your cell phone or whatever you want. So the rearview mirror has a manual day and night mode. So you have some tap lights up here. You can turn on all your interior lights by pushing that button back, turn them all off this way, or put it in the center position for the door. Now when you have your headlights on, there's a little blue light, I don't know if you can see that, will give you some ambient light in the center of the vehicle. It looks pretty cool. You can check out my night video on the Honda Pilot. Home link garage door opener controls are here. Place to put your shades right in here with a foam background, just to protect your Hollywood glasses if they'll fit it in there. And then lift it up and drop it right there, and you have a conversation mirror, so you can keep an eye on the backseat drivers. The visor has mirrors and lights. Okay, so let's look at the visibility in the back. So I have half the seats down, half the seats up. So you give you an idea of the difference. When you have the seats down, you have a little bit better visibility because the headrests are not in the way. So with the headrest there, you can see it blocks a little bit there in the back. The second row does a little bit, but it's mostly overlapping the pillar anyways. But of course, if you have passengers, it's going to add to the block. But you see there's a lot of glass. Lots of windows back there, and so the visibility is quite well. Of course, you have the blind spot camera, the backup camera, to help you out when you're backing up and changing lanes. But overall, it looks pretty good to me. All right, there you have it, 2018 Honda Pilot at East Coast Honda. Thank you for watching, and thank you to East Coast Honda for allowing me to show off another awesome vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time.